ที่จอดรถอยู่ริมถนนนะครับกรุณาจอดรถของท่านให้ชิดขอบทางด้านซ้ายให้มากที่สุดนะครับกรุณาจอดรถของท่านให้ชิดขอบทางด้านซ้ายให้มากที่สุดนะครับแล้วก็งับกระจกของท่านให้เรียบร้อยนะครับเพื่อที่จะได้ไม่กีดขวางการจราจรสำหรับผู้ที่สัญจรไปมาอยู่ด้านหน้านะครับดังนั้นขอให้ปฏิบัติตามด้วยนะครับขอบคุณมากครับชมไม่คำถามครับ
ทดสอบ1 2 3ครับผมไม่เคยเจอที่ก็เคยแต่ทำไม่ได้ก็เป็นไม่ได้ต่างกันมากที่ก็เคยเจอที่ก็จะ
จากฮ่องกงย้อนขึ้น วันนี้เป็นวันเสาร์ที่ 8 มีนาคม พุทธศักราช 2568 วันนี้เป็นวันพิเศษหน่อย คือมีศรัทธาญาติโยมชาวต่างประเทศมาร่วมฟังธรรมกันประมาณ100 คนด้วยกันจึงอาจจะต้องขอใช้ภาษาอังกฤษในเบื้องต้นนี้ก่อน โดยจะถามพวกที่มาว่าเขาอยากจะถามอะไรหรือไม่ Welcome all of you from Malaysia, Singapore, and Hong Kong, and wherever. Today is a special occasion because of your presence here with us. So I have to speak in English so that you all can understand. So, first of all, I would like to ask you if you have any question you want to ask me. I can answer your question first. Just raise your hand that you want to ask a question, and I'll send a microphone to you so you can speak through the microphone and ask me whatever you like. So, anybody would like to ask anything? Please raise your hand so we'll send you the microphone that you can then talk to me. Anybody? Or would you like to say anything on behalf of your group? What's your purpose of coming to Thailand? What do you expect to achieve from this trip? Or you just want to be here and be happy just being here? Okay. Well, basically, I'll give you a short talk first. I was going to talk about the 3 options we have after we die. See, our body will have to die one day. It doesn't last forever. But the mind that possesses this body doesn't die with the body. It will go on, continue on, depending on what it does now. And there are 3 options or 3 directions that the mind, which becomes the spirit, can go. One is to go to a realm of undesirable realm of existence, full of suffering. Second, it can go to the realm of heaven, where there's lots of happiness. And the third option is to go to Nirvana, not to return, to reborn again. This is the 3 options or directions that the spirit, the mind will go, depending on what you do now. If you do a lot of bad karma, such as killing, stealing, committing adultery, lying, and drinking alcohol, after the body dies, the mind will have to go to 4 places of undesirable existence. Being an animal, like being a dog or being a cat, or being a hungry ghost, or being a fearful ghost. And the last one is to be in hell. This depending on what type of bad karma you did. If you did bad karma due to your ignorance, you will be reborn as an animal. If you did bad karma due of your greed, you will become a hungry ghost. If you did bad karma through your fear, you will become a fearful ghost. If you did bad karma due to your anger, you will be reborn in hell. And after you spend your time in these places until your bad karma expire, you will return and reborn a human again. And you will be doing the same thing again. You will come back and then do more bad karma again due to your habit. See, when you do something, you accumulate a habit. So even after you die, the body dies, but the mind doesn't die. And the habit that goes with the mind doesn't disappear. After it has to pay its bad karma, it returns and reborn as a human and still have a bad habit with it. If you used to drink, you will come back and you like to drink again. If you used to lie, you'll come back and you will lie again. If you used to commit adultery, you'll come back and do it again. But you can change this habit depending on the environment that you live in. If you live in a good family, if you are born in a good family who doesn't do any bad karma, they will try to teach you and prevent you from doing bad karma. And if you obey, you don't resist, then you can change your bad habit into a good habit. But if your habit is really die hard, then it will be very difficult. If it's a hardcore habit, even your parents cannot change you. Your parents teach you not to steal, but you still like to steal, for instance. Then it will be difficult for you to change your bad habit. But if you realize one day that your bad habit will lead you to this undesirable realm of existence again and again, like when you came across the teaching of the Buddha, you might then believe or have faith in the teaching of the Buddha and start to reform yourself, change yourself. Then you start doing good karma, like giving dana, doing charity work, keeping the precepts. Then you can change your direction. After you die, you can then go to a happy realm of existence we call heaven, the Deva realms. This is the good karma that you do by doing charity work, helping other people, practice metta, loving kindness, karuna, compassion, metta, karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, and ubekha, equanimity. Then you will be doing just good karma, and you will try to avoid doing bad karma. But in real time, in real terms, it's not easy to not to do bad karma. You might still do some bad karma, but at least you try to resist as much as you can. But sometimes you might fail. So when you die, you might be, when you die, you might have two types of karma with you. You might have done some good karma and some bad karma. So when you die, it depends on which bad or good karma is stronger. If your bad karma is stronger than your good karma, you will still have to go and reborn in a undesirable realm of existence. But if your good karma is stronger than your bad karma, then you will go to heaven. But whichever realms you go to, you will then eventually come back and reborn as a human again. This is what we call the cycle of rebirth that we are stuck into. We will have to keep coming back and reborn and continue doing our good and bad karma. And the reason for our rebirth is due to our cravings. In Buddhism, we call tanha, kama tanha, cravings for sensual pleasures. We like to see things, we like to hear things, we like to taste and smell and touch things. So we need a body to experience these pleasures. So when we lose this body, we will come back and get a new body. Because our cravings is like addiction. We are addicted to sensual objects, such as images, sound, taste, smell, and tactile objects. So this is the cause of our rebirth. We have to keep coming back to be reborn again and again. If we cannot get rid of our cravings, besides the craving for sensual pleasures, there is also craving for being. Like being what? Being rich, being beautiful, being handsome, being long life, living a long life. This type of craving will propel the mind to keep coming back to reborn. The other one is a craving for not being. Not being what? Not being old, not being sick, not dying, for instance. These are the three cravings, the cause of our rebirth. And if we don't want to return and reborn again, we have to somehow get rid of these three cravings. And in order to do this, we first have to know this. If we didn't come across the teaching of the Buddha, if we haven't come across Buddhism, we will not know that our rebirth are caused by the three cravings that we have in ourselves. But if we come and meet the Buddha's teaching, or met the Buddha himself, or his noble disciples, we will hear about the Four Noble Truths. The truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the cessation of suffering, and the truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. This is the Four Noble Truths that no one can know except only the Buddha himself. Without the Buddha, the whole world will not know the Four Noble Truths. Not know that our suffering due to birth, aging, sickness, death, and separation from the ones we love are caused by our cravings. And how to end this suffering, bring the cessation of suffering to come about. We would know it if we hadn't heard about the Four Noble Truths. The way to stop your suffering, stop your rebirth, is to stop your cravings, the three cravings. And in order to stop your three cravings, you need the path that leading to the cessation of suffering, which is the Eightfold Path, Noble Eightfold Path, starting with Sammaทิฏฐิ, right view, Samma Sankappo, right thought or right thinking, Samma Kammanto, right action, Samma Vaca, right speech, Samma Achivo, right livelihood, Samma Vayamo, right exertion, Samma Sati, right mindfulness, and Samma Samadhi, right concentration. These are the tools we need to develop if we want to stop our cravings. Right now we cannot stop our cravings. We still want to go see and hear things. all the time. Because when we cannot do what we wanted to do, we feel miserable, right? If we have to stay at home all the time, we feel miserable. But when we can go outside and go to see people and things and eat and drink and do whatever we want to do, we feel relief, we feel happy. But these are short-lived happiness. After we have done that, when we come back home, we feel empty again. We feel the need to go out again. So we have to keep going out, keep going after sensual pleasures. And we cannot stop it simply because knowing that these cravings are bad for us. We are not strong enough yet. So we have to build up the tools to make us strong. And the tools that make us strong is the Noble Eightfold Path. So we have to develop the Eightfold Path. The first one is called right view. We have to remind ourselves that our sufferings, our aging, sickness and death are caused by our cravings. So we must try to reduce our cravings. And so we have to have right thinking. Instead of thinking about going after sensual pleasure, we should start to think about abstaining from sensual pleasures, like taking the 8 precepts. When we take the 8 precepts, we are abstaining from going after sensual pleasures. Like we cannot eat after midday. We only eat to live, not live to eat. If we live to eat, we are living for the pleasure from eating. But if we eat to live, I mean, we eat to survive, to keep the body going. And eat to live, we don't have to eat so much. We can eat until before midday. That's good enough for the body. Then after that, we try to refrain from eating, because we want to use the time in the afternoon and at night for meditation practice, to developing mindfulness, right mindfulness and right concentration. So this comes to the third path, which is right action. We have to keep the 8 precepts, abstain from killing, stealing, and sexual activity if we keep the 8 precepts. And also abstain from lying, abstain from drinking alcohol, and abstain from eating after midday, abstaining from all types of entertainment, like watching movies, going dancing, going outside to bars or pubs or to restaurants, to theaters, so forth. We have to try to stay at home or inside a temple so that we can practice meditation and develop mindfulness. And we also should not sleep too much, because we want the time to spend for practice. But if we sleep in comfortable bed, we will sleep more than the body needs. Normally the body needs to sleep about 4 or 5 hours a night. But if you sleep on a comfortable bed, after the body have rested and get up after 4 or 5 hours, you don't want to get up yet. You want to continue on sleeping, because you have a comfortable bed to sleep in. So in order to prevent you from sleeping too much, oversleeping, then you have to sleep on the hard floor, which is not comfortable for the body. But it suffices for the body to rest. So after the body has slept for 4 or 5 hours, when you get up, when you wake up, you don't want to continue to sleep because it's not comfortable. So then you can get up and do your meditation practice instead. So this is right action and right speech. Right livelihood is we should make our living not on killing other people, like don't hurting other people or animals. Don't kill chicken or duck or Don't make it a profession for you. Do livelihood or the profession that doesn't hurt anybody, like being a nurse, being a doctor, selling clothing, something like this. Doing something that is useful or beneficial, livelihood. You don't want to hurt other beings because it can come back to you, because it's bad karma. Then next to the livelihood is the right exertion, right practice. What does the right practice mean? The practice of keeping the precept, the practice of developing mindfulness, and the practice of meditation to calm your mind, to bring your mind to peace and contentment. So that's the what we call right exertion or right practice. Then followed by right mindfulness. That's what we have to do. We have to develop mindfulness. Mindfulness is the tool to stop our thought, our thinking. If we keep thinking, our mind can become restless and agitated and not happy. And that can lead us to do more cravings, because we thought when we're not happy, we need to have some sensual pleasure in order to make us happy. But that's not the right way of making your mind happy. The right way of making your mind happy is to stop thinking, to enter into jhana. And in order for the mind to stop thinking, you need mindfulness, something to prevent the mind from thinking. And the way to develop mindfulness to stop the mind from thinking is to use an object, such as you can use the body, or you can use a mantra, such as the word Bhutto, Bhutto. If you want to stop your mind from thinking aimlessly, you have to recite Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. If you continue on with Bhutto, you cannot go think about other things. Or if you want to use the body as the object of mindfulness, you can keep watching your body all the time. Tie your mind to the body. Watch every movement, every activity of the body, so that you cannot go think about other things. This is what right mindfulness is. It's a method of pulling your mind away from the thoughts. If you're watching your body, you cannot go thinking about somebody else. If you're thinking about somebody else or something else, it means you're not watching your body. Same way with using the mantra. If you recite Bhutto, 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 you cannot go think about this or that person or thing. But if you go and think, then it means you're not reciting Bhutto anymore. You're not mindful anymore. So the whole purpose here in developing mindfulness is to prevent your mind from thinking. Because when your mind doesn't think, it can become still, peaceful and happy, and enter into jhana and have equanimity. Equanimity is a state of mind that is neutral, having no emotion, no love, no hate, no fear, no delusion. This is the type of mind that we need to have in order to use wisdom, which is right view, to stop our craving. If we have equanimity, our mind will be strong. And when we develop wisdom, seeing that our sufferings are caused by our cravings, we will then stop following our craving. And when we don't follow our cravings, do what our craving asks us to do, then eventually the craving will disappear from the mind, completely, forever. And when there are no more craving left in the mind, then the mind doesn't have anybody to push it to go take rebirth again. No rebirth. When there's no rebirth, there's no aging, no sickness, no death, no separation from the ones you love. Then you are free from suffering forever. A mind that doesn't take any rebirth, the mind that has completely eliminated all cravings, is called Nirvana. That's the mind of the Buddha and the noble disciple, the arahant disciple. This is the way to solve our problem forever, completely, once and for all, is to stop rebirth, not return to take birth again. Because even if we born as a rich person, we will still have to face the suffering of the body. The body still get old, get sick and die, regardless of what type of person you are, whether you are rich or poor, well known or not well known, you will still have to suffer the suffering of the body. And if you don't want to go through this suffering again and again, you will have to eliminate your cravings from the mind by the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path. You can start with the lower practice first, like keeping the precepts, keeping the 5 precepts, and do charity work, do dana. If you have money and you want to be happy, instead of buying something new, something